The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Shady Rays. Shady Rays is having their best deal of the year. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the code SGPN for 50% off 2 or more pairs, polarized sunglasses, and go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady to enter Shady Rays Parlay of the Day contest. We're also brought to you by SGPN's Draft Week. All week long, SGPN has you covered with draft pops, mock drafts, and our live NFL draft watch party. Make sure to smash that subscribe button at youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. The dog liked it. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, the 25th of April. We have a full slate of MLB games. We're going to do our best to handicap them for Wednesday, the 26th of April. There's about 7 of these 15 games off the board, and there's all sorts of pitching shenanigans. We've got TBD pitches. We've got pitchers being sent down. We've got rookies. We've got bullpen games. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mess. But the men to untangle it are with me. First up, Mr. Dylan Rockford. D-Rock, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to see you, boys. Funny episode yesterday. Went back and listened. You guys spent like 8 minutes on the lock and dog, and hopefully we could steer away from that today.
I never listened back because, I don't even want to do this once, let alone listen to it a second time. And I listened back to the end bit, and I'm still not entirely sure what happened, but it did. It unraveled pretty quickly, and it did make me laugh. From what I get, as soon as you made your pick, everyone strayed away from you. Oh, they were like rats from a sinking ship. They were gone. They were like the Titanic. Everyone was. There needed to be 4 fellas playing the cello and the violin over here, just as my bets went down and everyone jumped off. It was incredible. What you saying, Noah?
All right, hi guys. I'm doing great today, but no, what happened was Malcolm goes out and gives out the Rangers money line as his lock, and it's a triple lock. And then he goes, "I'm going to do the Rangers -1.5." First off, that was funny. I don't think we've had somebody try to do that at all during the show before. And then when he changed it, he goes, "All right, I'm going to make my dog Noah's dog." Well, his lock was already Noah's lock too, so that's why I was dying, because I think he did it without even knowing, but it was just hilarious.
I was trying to compliment you because I'd listened to you handicap the Brewers, and you did such a good job. I thought, yeah, that's good. But then I don't know. Maybe people were expecting me to make my own picks, which is kind of why we're here. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean that was funny, and I had to go make a meme out of it. So the car driving down the highway, and then when you veer off to the right,
that was great,
exit.
Noah, to be honest.
Yeah. When the podcast ends under an hour, nope, the lock and dog. So,
and I think it's only right today, Malcolm, you have to lead us off, lock and dog.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Munaf, who's a bit of a bully between me and you. He's actually in the he's watching along on YouTube. Good evening, Munaf. How are you? He's got a question in my outfit. See what I mean? He's straight away shaming me for me. I've got my hoodie on. This is do you call them an hoodie?
What the hell is that?
It's like Homer Simpson would call it. What's Homer Simpson calls it? He wears that big Hawaiian one in one episode, doesn't he? What's he called? It's gigantic. It comes down to my knees. It's
what is it?
I don't know what it is. It's like a smock.
It looks like a robe with a hoodie, but for the podcast listeners, it's got soccer balls all over it. So
it has got big soccer balls on it. Yeah.
When you go to the London MLB game, are you going to pick up a baseball one of those?
Am I going to what?
Pick up a baseball hoodie?
I'll have to see what they've got. Yeah, I don't know if I want any Cubs or Cardinals. Yeah, that's a problem. But there'll be a pop-up shop that sells. Gear? I don't think so. I should get what's his name? Steele jersey, Justin Steele. There we go. That's what we need to do. And the as the young people would say, the chat is popping off so far tonight. There was people waiting for us to start. They were drumming their fingers, waiting for our arrival. Serial and TVDBG. We're getting into it already. We could see them. Like I say, Moonaf's in there. Riley's here. Riley Shant, where I wanted me to say his last name. Sounds a little bit sexual, but there you go. Who else is in? David's there. David Dilly's in there. So yeah, there's a few mentions of the Premier League because we picked some winners tonight. There's been some Premier League. Serial knows Wolves won, Villa won. So I'll tip both of those out. The Premier League Gambling Podcast, people, is a really good listen. And Funes, the last few weeks.
In the chat, that was good. He goes, it's gigantic and it comes down to the knee. Yeah, right.
Yes, very good, Moonaf. Jake stayed up as well. JT's brother. How are you doing, Jake? Yeah, so it's pitch him again tomorrow. Like I say, we've got bullpen days. We've got pitchers who've been sent down. We've got differences of opinion on who might go. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games on the board. So we will do our level best. We will do our level best to give you some picks. No day sport today, so nothing has gone off yet we can talk about. We start tomorrow. There is plenty day sport tomorrow. 12:35 Eastern. First pitch is the Texas Rangers at the Cincinnati Reds. John Gray will go for Texas. Graham Ashcraft goes for Cincinnati. Minus 135 for Texas, plus 105 for the Reds. Total is set at 9.5. We will throw this straight across to Noah.
This one's a super tight one handicap. I'm not a fan of the Reds being a favorite, and I'm not seeing enough to take the Rangers with enough confidence. I'm going to keep an eye on John Gray's strikeouts. If it opens low, Cincinnati has the second highest K rate against right-handed pitching this year. Gray is 1-1 with 3.74 ERA, 15 strikeouts on the year, 11 walks in 19.1 innings. He should go well for Texas, who's facing the 25th ranked Reds with a 659 OPS against right-handed pitching. But so far this year, Graham Ashcraft has pitched like a game breaker. He's 2-0 with a 1.88 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 11 walks in 24 innings pitched. Lastly, it's probably my most confident angle of the game. Runners are 25 for 30 stealing bases against John Gray. So target either Jonathan India or Jake Fraley in that market. I lean Reds to win the game, but I do not like it at the minus price.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You see a minus price out there?
Yeah, I saw minus 115 on the Reds. Did that change?
Well, I've just got plus 105 here.
I have plus 115. Rangers are minus 132.
So that's moved within the hour. I actually see minus 120 at points bet still. So they still haven't changed that Rangers plus 100 if you're on the Rangers side. But yeah, it's now plus 115 for the Reds I'm seeing on some places. So, yep. Yeah,
definitely. I've got the same minds as Dylan here. I feel like I'm just buying the take Graham Ashcraft every week, and I feel like I could find something different to do. So I have done, and I've gone to first 500 here because I like Ashcraft's gone along, but I don't mind John Gray either, and Cincinnati still don't score many runs. So as much as Texas talking up as being I think the second most runs per game behind the Rays, I think this could be a little bit of a slow burner behind two pitchers I quite like. So a first 5 under for me, Dylan.
Yeah, I got to fade Ashcraft here, Malcolm. Sorry. I like the Rangers here. I made him a minus 140 favorite. Rangers are just a much better team than the Reds. Ashcraft, he's a cool pitcher, but they usually don't win most of his starts. Maybe let's walk prop for him as well. He walks around 3-4 batters per game. So usually walk props around 1.5. So I like to open up a lead, turn it over to the bullpen. They have the second best bullpen in the league. I like the Rangers even more now since they lost the season opener to the Reds. So I'm going to be on the Reds here, and I'll probably go on points bet. If Noah's saying I could get plus money, I'll be on them.
Ashcraft doesn't have a loss this year. He's set up the Reds to win every game in all 4 starts so far. He's 2-0. So I don't know if the Reds don't usually win his starts. I mean, that's the only time the Reds seem to be winning this year.
Their bullpen doesn't win their game, so he could turn it over all they want.
Hey, we're on the first 5 under with Malcolm.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm on Steel Props with Gray. That's all I'm saying.
Lane has joined us. Lane Elliott, good evening, sir. How you doing? Next up, 1:05 Eastern, first pitch, the Boston Red Sox at the Baltimore Orioles. Tanner Houck goes for Boston. Baltimore will send Tyler Wells to the mound. No lines on this one. Why not? Does anyone know? I had these 2 pitches down yesterday. I handicapped this, and why do we think? Do we not know?
I have no idea.
D-Rock.
I think I see lines, so I don't really understand what you're saying, to be honest.
This is twice this week. He's absolutely sawn me off at the knees. He's done it again. He did it on Sunday night as well, Noah. What's your lines, D-Rock? Then hit me.
So I see lines on FanDuel. We're talking about Baltimore and Boston, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Orioles minus 118, plus 100 for the Red Sox. Over under is at 8.5, minus 1.5 for. It's weird. It's minus 1.5 for the Red Sox at plus 168, plus 1.5, minus 205 for the Orioles. For me, I made the Orioles a minus 140 favorite, minus 1.5 plus 145, and I made my total 9. So I like the Orioles here. You get them at a minus 118, like I just said. I think they're the better team right now. They're on fire, winning 9 of their last 10. Tyler Wells, he's much better than Tanner Houck. Orioles 9-2 as a favorite straight up. While the Red Sox, they're not the best road team. I also lean over 8.5. Like I said, I made my total 9. Every game between these 2 clubs have been a shootout. So 2 really good lineups and not the best pitching. So lean over, and I lean with the home team Orioles.
Yeah, I like the over. That was going to be my pick. Just quickly on Chris Sale last night. He had a pretty amazing game. I think he gave up a hit to all 9 Baltimore Orioles by the 5th inning, which was some sort of record. Well, trivia question. 42 swings last night Baltimore took off Chris Sale. How many misses?
0. I think I heard about this. He didn't have a strikeout.
He didn't have a strikeout, no, but he managed to get 2 swings and misses. And I mean, that's Chris Sale's game, isn't it? So, yeah, interesting to see what happens. Baltimore going along really nicely as well. They've won 7 in a row before tonight's game. I do like Tanner Houck, though. Dylan's a bit lower on him. Similar performances, and we mentioned this on last night's show. They've had 3 mad wins when Houck's pitched: 11-5, 14-5, and 9-5. Wells too good, too not so good. No real pattern on him. I just like the trends. Boston's an over team, and both of these pitchers could go for a few each. So yeah, over 8.5 for me. Noah?
Yeah, I'm riding the trends as well, but so I'm not going to repeat everything that you guys said, but we don't have the result from Tuesday's game to see if this game did go over as well, because I want to see if that translates from Boston to Camden, because Boston, one of the better hitters parks, and Camden, they moved back to the left field defense. It's now become more of a pitcher friendly park. We'll see if the overs carry over to Baltimore, their home park. But yeah, I'd be on the over here too.
1:07 Eastern, first pitch, the Chicago White Sox at the Toronto Blue Jays. Michael Kopech for the White Sox. Yusei Kikuchi, left-handed pitcher for the Blue Jays. Plus 145 on the Sox, minus 188 on Kikuchi. Total is set at 9.5. Throw this across to D-Rock. What you got?
Yeah, man, I'm on my 4th day of fading the White Sox, 3-0.
Hey, baby.
We're just continuing to cash. I'm going to continue to fade them. I don't know who's backing the White Sox at this point. They've lost 8 of their last 10, 5 straight. And on the other hand, the Blue Jays are going the other way, 6-4 in their last 10. And Yusei Kikuchi, I faded him last start. I'm not going to do it again. He's pitching really well this season. Besides that one start against the Angels, he's been lights out, especially against good lineups, the Rays, the Yankees. And on the other hand, I just can't trust Michael Kopech on the road. I think the Blue Jays are going to rock him. Look for a walk prop as well for Kopech. He has 3 or more walks in every one of his start. So I like the walk prop for Kopech and Blue Jays run line here for me.
Noah, you heart Michael Kopech, so what are you saying about that?
Yeah. The statement was, I don't know who's backing the White Sox right now. I'm not backing Toronto with Kikuchi on the mound at minus 180. No way in hell. I'm going to go with my boy Kopech. And if you look under the hood, it really has not gone well for Kopech so far this year. The Toronto lineup is hot. I favor the over in the matchup.
Yeah, the over was my play as well, for the reasons you both given out. We put two dodgy pitches, really. The fading White Sox thing has gone to 4-8 now, 4 wins and 8 losses, so we'll be well and truly in profit. The Blue Jays also, just a bullpen note here, called up Nate Pearson, who was the talking horse for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I
hear
he lost a couple of miles per hour, but still, he's a flamethrower.
I don't know. I thought he was still up like around 100, but he's going to go into the pen. So we'll just see. It didn't quite happen for him as a starter, so we get a new start, a second life really for Pearson. So we'll have to just see how that goes for him.
I still think he's at 100, but he was like 102, 103.
Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting to see how we get to. Let me tell you about what a great sentence this is to say in my accent. The Shady Rays Parlay of the Day contest. We're running a special Parlay of the Day contest for people who've bought their shades from shadyrays.com using the promo code SGPN. Each day of the NFL Draft, the Sports Gambling Podcast will release a Shady Rays Parlay of the Day. If the parlay hits, the cash will be awarded to one lucky listener. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady to start getting shady. Shady Rays, remember, got you covered with the best customizable and polarized shades. Replace any broken ones, no questions asked, even on day one, exclusively for our listeners. Shady Rays is giving out the best deal of the year. Go to shadyrays.com, use the code SGPN for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. 1:10 Eastern, first pitch. The Colorado Rockies at the Cleveland Guardians. This was pitching mayhem. Colorado have Noah Davis going to the mound. Myself, Noah, and Dylan had 3 different pitchers going for Cleveland. I had Zach Plesac. Noah had someone I'm pretty sure he made up, and Dylan had Xavier Curry. We think it might be Xavier Curry. But yeah, no odds, no totals. Noah, what have you got to tell us?
Yeah, I'm going to take the opportunity to tell you guys about Tanner Bybee, who's the guy that I had starting this game. He was scratched from his start on Tuesday in AAA Columbus, and many are speculating that he could get this start here for the Guardians on Wednesday. Bybee came out of the baseball powerhouse Cal State Fullerton. He was drafted in 2021, fast tracked through the minors, pitching to a 2.17 ERA throughout 2022 at the high A and AA stages. Then, so far this year in AAA, he got off to a 2-0 start with a 1.76 ERA, 19 strikeouts, 8 walks in 15.1 innings. So, against the Rockies, if Bybee pitches, this is a guy that you do not want to fade in his MLB debut at home. Like I said, against the Rockies, that's a favorable offense for your MLB debut.
I mean, I haven't got much to add on this, really, with Zach Plesac. What happened to him then? Did they send him down? You said they sent him down, or DFA'd him? Do we know?
I don't know what happened here, because he is projected. I think they moved him back maybe a couple of days, because he is projected on Thursday. No.
Davis has been great. I fancied Colorado a couple of times this week, and they won a game too early, and I've actually tipped them up in tonight's game, so I feel like I've missed the boat there. In Cleveland, they're just still a little bit meek and mild, really, with the backs. They were shut out last night. So I'd give Colorado and Davis a chance on the lines. D-Rock, did you have any lines for this at all?
Yeah, so I got Noah Davis going for the Rockies, and I have Xavier Curry going for the Guardians. I made the Guardians a minus 195 favorite, plus 195 on the other side for the Rockies. I made my total 9. So I like the over. I feel like if we could get an 8, 8.5, I would shoot over here. Like I said, bullpen game for the Guardians. Don't want to back either side here. I like to fade the Rockies on the road. Guardians they're not really playing good baseball right now. 4-6 in their last 10. They're 3-7 at home this season. But yeah, I'll lean over. Like I said, I made my total 9. I think the Guardians, they could score a few runs off Davis. Rockies, they've lost both of his starts, even though he has pitched 2 good games. Walks are down, strikeouts 5 in each of his starts. So I don't know. I think the Guardians are just a tad better here. So at the home team, I'll side with them and the over.
Dylan, do you have a favorite curry?
No, I don't.
Fucking hell. Honestly, Dylan, you're a constant letdown. Can we just point that out? Constant letdown. 1:10 Eastern first pitch is the New York Yankees at the Minnesota Twins. Domingo Germán will go for New York, and Kenta Maeda goes for Minnesota. Plus 105 for the Yankees, minus 125 for Minnesota. Total is set at 8.5. Germán is 1-2 on the season, 4.50 ERA. Pitched well at home against the Twins on the 15th of April. It's 1 road start so far. He walked 5 batters, so we'll have to see how that shakes out away from Yankee Stadium. Kenta Maeda's just very average, really. His profile never wavers far from the mean, but it's not very encouraging either. He's only pitched 13 innings as well through 3 short starts. They both look vulnerable to me. There wasn't many runs in this game last night. New York only scored 1. I think their bats might liven up a little bit. Both look vulnerable. Over 8.5 was my play, Dylan.
Yeah, this is another team where, I'm getting to my wit's end, we could say, with them, the Yankees,
Great.
I always back them for the show, and like 9 out of 10 times they always lose for me. So with that being said, I'll take another swing with them. Yankees plus 110, I think is great value, in my opinion, against a guy like Kenta Maeda, where Twins have lost every single start he's made. He's been worse at home than on the road. I don't trust him at all. And I think getting value at plus 110, where I only made the Twins a minus 104 favorite. So plus 110, I think it's great value here for the Yankees. So one more time, give me the Yankees.
One more time, Dylan's Yankees. Noah?
Yeah, where's Captain Insano when you need him? Because this is a Yankees show. I'm siding with the Yankees. Domingo Germán, the last time he faced Twins, there was controversy flying around throughout the start. It was the start that he had the sticky fingers. The umpire told him to go wash it off. Then he got into an argument with him when Germán came out of the dugout the next time. Germán pitched 6.1, only gave up 3 hits. He had 11 strikeouts. Both these teams are league average against right-handed pitching. Yankees 16th, Minnesota 17th in OPS. So both of them, I think I got to favor the Yankees in this game with Germán on the mound.
Okay, 1:40 Eastern first pitch. The Detroit Tigers at the Milwaukee Brewers. Michael Lorenzen for Detroit, and Freddie Peralta goes for Milwaukee. Plus 165 on the Tigers, minus 220 on the Brewers. Total set at 8.5. Dylan, we faded Lorenzen last week, backed Peralta. What's the situation tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do it again. Another run line play for me. Going to fade Mike Lorenza in this spot. I know he had a much better start against the Orioles in his last one, but I just think this is a better spot for Freddie Peralta after back-to-back and the mediocre starts for him. I think against the Tigers, he can have Cess, who they're only hitting 210 off of righties this season. Tigers won the first game of the series yesterday, but I think this is a spot where the Brewers could get right here, get a big win. So plus, I got plus 105. It's down to minus 105 right now. I still like it. I needed at least a minus 115 to take the Brew Crew here on the run line. So that's going to be the play for me.
Well, I mean, I didn't see any odds on this. I projected that I would take Milwaukee on the run line down to minus 130, Dylan. So you've made my day there. I'll take those extra 25 points. So yeah, that would be my pick as well. I don't mind Lorenzen. We just need to see a little bit more from him. The 8.5, I think, looks quite high as well because the Brewers would have to do this all by themselves, I think. I don't think Detroit are going to contribute much. So the 8.5 looked high, but I'd stick with Milwaukee on the run line. Noah, any hope for your Tigers?
The hope is that it's another low-scoring game like yesterday, and they can have a chance to squeak it out. I favor the under, like Malcolm just said. I think Lorenzen had a great start against the Orioles last time. He looks okay. Like Malcolm favored him big time in the season ago, and he just got hurt, and we didn't see him for the back half of the year. This year he's came back, and I mean, for the Tigers, he looks like one of our better starters. So I would say the under is a good look here, and especially with the Tigers bullpen. The last, I think I saw a stat, it was the last 27 innings they've pitched. The ERA is 0.68. So the bullpen has really corrected itself, and I like the under here.
Okay, TVDBJ likes Freddie Peralta at home too. 3:40 Eastern first pitch. The Kansas City Royals at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Officially TBD for Kansas City. I've got Ryan Yarbrough going.
That's what I got.
Yeah. Zach Gallen will go for Arizona. No lines on this one as a result. But Noah, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, I'm the easy target for Malcolm to assign a TBA pitcher because we have the hopes that an exciting young pitcher is going to step up and take the mound for the day. But, with the Royals, it's Ryan Yarbrough who's projected to go here, and he's batting practice. Zach Gallen on the other side for the Diamondbacks. This is an easy run line handicap here. Not much time with no odds, but yeah, I like the -1.5 with Arizona.
I quite liked Ryan Yarbrough 2 years ago. He was great when he was like the piggyback starter for Tampa Bay. He was great in fantasy because you could start him without using up a start in a league where you had those limits, because he would follow an opener. So I watched him quite a lot then, but you're right, he has dropped off a little bit. He hasn't been as bad this year, but you just get the feeling he's going to blow up at any point. And it could quite easily be tomorrow. This is a great spot for Arizona. Not going to win any prizes, but it is a D-backs run line. Dylan, team right?
Real quick, they do have lines up at DK right now, if you want me to say them.
Hit me.
Arizona -265 on the money line, plus 225 on the other side. 8.5 is the total, -120 towards the over. -1.5 for the D-backs, -130. +1.5 is at +110. Don't know if I want to lay -130, even though I do agree with you guys. But this one is a stinker of a game, to be honest. Nothing I'm actually going to bet here. But I'm going to go under 8.5. I made my total 8.3. I just can't back the D-backs at this crazy price right now. And the Royals are on my do not bet list. So only play I kind of like is the under, and you can get plus money out there. So shop around. It's at even money. So Zach Gallen, Jersey boy, he's been lights out after letting up 4 runs in his first start. He's put up 3 zeros in a row. Control is good. He doesn't walk batters. Maybe look towards a K prop from Gallen. He's had 11, 7, and 11 in his last 3 starts. But I think he shuts down the Royals. So maybe Royals team total under, or full game under. That's the only way I really would look in this game. So maybe a 4-1 D-back 5-0 type game. But yeah, that's how I'm playing it.
Yeah, Trevor's saying that D-backs batter props is a potential way of going as well. Yeah, sometimes you have to get a little bit creative when the odds are as bad as Lane's suggesting that they are here on this one. I've got no odds on this game either, but I've got 2 pictures. So Dylan, I might ask you to throw out these odds if you can find them. It's 6:35 Eastern first pitch. It's the LA Dodgers at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers and Roansy Contreras for Pittsburgh. Do you have lines, D-Rock?
Yes, sir. Dodgers -130 favorite, +120 for the Buccos. Over under is at 8.5, -1.5 for the Dodgers, +135, +1.5 for the Buccos, -138. And for the total 8.5, it's even money for the over, -105 towards the under.
Yeah, so this is a first sighting of Tony Gonsolin this season, having recovered from a left ankle injury. Had that remarkable record last year, finished 16-1 with a 2.14 ERA. And the Dodgers have said he's not going to go any deeper than 4 innings. So that's something to bear in mind. Everything he did last year was a career best. So the question is, can he replicate it? And we do not know at this point in time. Roansy Contreras, we like him. He's had 3 good starts and 1 bad. So I'm happy to take the 3 good as kind of the line. He hasn't given up a homer yet. Max Muncy is day-to-day at the minute. I think if Contreras can keep the ball in...
He's on the
list. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, this is quite funny. There's 4 Dodgers that have gone on the paternity list in the last week, Malcolm. So
last year, what do we think happened there?
Last year, All-Star break.
All-Star break.
You gotta love it.
Everybody was shagging. That's what was going on. So if they can keep the ball inside the park, Contreras, which he has done, then I think Pittsburgh are very lively. I mean, Pittsburgh are the greatest story of the season so far. And I'd give them a chance again here. Plus 120 Pittsburgh on the money line for me, please. Noah, tell us about the Pirates.
Yeah, you're going to give me the team that swept the Dodgers at home last year at plus money when the Dodgers currently had the greatest start with their bullpen. It's the sixth worst bullpen in the MLB right now with a 5.05 ERA. Yeah, give me the Bucks.
Dylan?
Ooh, I got to go on the other side. Contrarian play. I'm going to take the Dodgers here, minus 130. I made him a minus 170 favorite. You know, I know these are all last year's numbers, but he was undefeated on the road, 1-0 against the Pirates. But Noah's right. This is a different team this year for the Buccos. 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 7 in a row. They swept them. The Dodgers, but they are starting to find their rhythm a little with their bats. They are scoring a little more runs. Noah made a good point about the bullpen. I don't trust their bullpen a lot, but Pirates, they're playing a lot of close games, winning by 1 or 2. So I'll take a shot with the Dodgers here to break the streak. Let me go on the other side. I'll take Dodgers.
When Dylan said contrarian play, I thought he was going to back Contreras.
It's contrarian. Minus 130 favorites, Dylan's contrarian play. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The NBA and NHL playoffs are here, and what better way to get down on some player prop parlays than over at Underdog Fantasy. Besides daily NHL, NBA, and MLB games, they've also already got NFL best ball drafts with a guaranteed $500,000 in prizes. Head over to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. And as part of SGPN's Draft Week, SGPN is holding a free NFL Draft Props contest exclusively for members of our Discord. It's completely free to join. The winner gets $250 in cash and a $50 SGPN gift card. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Go to the NFL channel for the sign-up link. Next up is, I need to keep my eye on the Mets in the top corner. What time's that? 7:10. Not quite yet. 6:40 Eastern, first pitch. The Houston Astros at the Tampa Bay Rays. More TBD pitchers here. Hunter Brown, definitely for the Houston Astros. And what's old fucker's first name? Corey. What's his?
Calvin.
Calvin Foucher fucker. I can't remember what we termed him last week. We think he's going for the Tampa Bay Rays. I have got no lines, but Dylan probably has, and Dylan's also got the handicap. So what have you got, mate?
Yeah, so DK has lines minus 115 for the Houston Astros, minus 105 for the Tampa Bay Rays. Over under is at 8, minus 110 both ways. Minus 1.5 for the Astros, plus 150, plus 1.5, minus 175 for the Rays. I'm going to go over here. I like a total. I'm going to go over here. I made my total 8.7. Hunter Brown going for the Astros. Calvin Fucker for the Rays. I don't trust either guy, to be honest. You know, Hunter Brown, he gives up a lot of hard contact. He walks a lot of batters. In all the games he starts, the game has gone over the number. And with Calvin, he's just a guy where he's only going to give you 1 to 2 innings to start the game, but he also gives up 1 to 3 runs in those 2 innings. He gives up a lot of deep balls as well. So I trust the Rays bullpen. They have a top 5 bullpen in the league. They also have a top 5 lineup as well. Both clubs, they've been over teams this season, 15-7 toward the over for the Astros, 13-7-3 toward the over for the Rays. Both lineups can contribute to this over. So over 8 is the play for me.
Okay. Noah?
So I like the under in this game. I think that you got the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen ranking 3rd in the MLB and 2.79 ERA. Houston 7th in the MLB with a 3.15. Hunter Brown actually is above average in limiting hard contact. Average exit velocity in the 60th percentile. Hard hit percentage 58th percentile. This is a guy that I favored to win the AL Rookie of the Year. He's been going great, and honestly, a lot of the rookies have been quite underwhelming so far this year. And I like that Rays bullpen and the Houston Astros lineup without Yordan Alvarez. It kind of looks bare bones. It kind of looks like the Yankees lineup last August without Yordan, without Altuve. So I like the under in this one.
I gave Houston a chance here. Bullpen days so far this season, they've won one and lost one, have Tampa. Hunter Brown should go okay. Alvarez has travelled back home he's got a neck injury, I think.
Yeah, they sent him back to Houston to get looked at.
Yeah, but I think Houston can take one of these games off the Rays, and I think this is the one. Just like I say, the pushing the look a little bit with the bullpen day. So, yeah, I think Houston. Bregman's going a little bit better. I still quite like Jeremy Pena. He's been swinging a decent bat. So, yeah, I'll take Houston here at a price of minus 115. Next up is 640. Eastern first pitch. The Seattle Mariners at the Philadelphia Phillies. Logan Gilbert is now going for the Mariners. He's been pushed back a day or swapped with Marco Gonzalez for some reason. Taiwan Walker goes for the Phillies. Both minus 110, although that might have been with Gonzalez on the mound. So, yeah, Noah, change of picture here. How do you see the Mariners at the Phillies?
Yeah, so if they're both minus 110, that's definitely listed as Logan Gilbert would be starting, even though that's not the case. So I would definitely be getting down on the Phillies because I do favor them in this game. I'll start like this. Neither of the starters blow my skirt up, Malcolm. I trust Taiwan Walker a little bit more than Marco Gonzalez. The Phillies have a 760 OPS against lefties, and this will be the best offense that Gonzalez has faced so far this year. He's faced the Guardians twice and the Brewers once. The Mariners only have a 698 OPS against right-handed pitching so far, and Walker is limiting hard contact. He's in the 85th percentile in average exit velocity, 72nd percentile in hard hit percentage against him. I'd be eyeing a Phillies team total here, mostly. Otherwise, I'm not chomping at the bit to back Walker on the money line or run line. So I like the Phillies offense most in this matchup. So Phillies team total here for me.
D-Rock, I haven't seen a total on this one. So what was the Rockford line on this?
So the total is at 8 right now at DK, juice towards the over. I made my total 8.5. I kind of like the over going off of what Noah said. I think the Phillies can score some runs here. But when the lines opened up and they made the switching change about an hour ago before we went live, you were able to get Mariners plus 110. I jumped all over that as Mariners as dogged. Right now, I made the Phillies a minus 105 favorite, so it's kind of a pick 'em right now. I love Logan Gilbert. I think he's going to be a stud, and I think he's actually been better on the road than at home this season. And
Marco Gonzalez is starting though.
No, he's not Gilbert.
No, it's Logan Gilbert.
Gonzalez was.
Gonzalez is starting tonight, boys.
Yeah,
that's my fault then. I handicapped Marco.
Yeah, no. I was confused. I was like, wait, am I? Yeah, because they switched it about an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We handicapped Gilbert last night.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, anyway, it's a little biased on my side. I'm just not the biggest Taiwan Walker fan, to be honest. Even when he was on the Mets, he's very inconsistent for me. Walks a lot of batters. Phillies, they're winning some games right now. Noah mentioned it. Their bats are coming to life, but I trust Gilbert. I think he's going to be able to limit them a little bit. I do like the over, like Noah said, but plus 110 I was able to get with the Mariners. I couldn't pass that up.
I quite like the under here. I like both pitches. Dylan just talked us through Logan Gilbert. I think there's a little resurgence from Taiwan Walker. I always thought he got a bit of a bad press at the Mets, and I think he's going to go okay and has been going okay so far for Phillies. So, yeah, total it's 8. And I'm happy to take it under. Both offenses are scuffling along a little bit as well, so I think that will help us out here.
For
7-10.
What? I'm gonna retract my Phillies team total. I would probably side with the Mariners here. I think they might end up as a bigger favorite come first pitch.
Okay, fair enough. 7-10 Eastern, first pitch. The Washington Nationals at the New York Mets. Mackenzie Gore, left-handed pitcher for Washington. Kodai Senga with the ghost fork will go for the New York Mets. Plus 180 on Washington, minus 208 on the Mets. Total at 8.5. Dylan, we'll throw this to you. You are the Mets fan. Tell us about Kodai Senga. How much do you love him?
Oh, I love him very much. I'm thinking about getting a jersey. I'm going to a game in a few weeks behind home plate. I was hoping he pitches that game. So I'm either going to get that or a Brandon Nimmo jersey. But
have you paid for fancy tickets, Dylan, or is someone treating you?
No, I paid. I was 5 rows behind home place, the closest I've ever sat. So I'll be on TV. I'm gonna hold up an MLB SGPN sign for everyone.
Someone's doing all right for themselves, Noah. He must be. This is where all the budgets, all the show budgets going. It's being directed to Dylan.
All the coffee. I'm telling you, you keep being mean, you won't get a Yeti mug. I was gonna give you too. So. Better watch out. No, but seriously, for this game, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do a little player prop, Kodai Senga K or walk prop. I'm not gonna go a side or total in this one. I do lean Mets on the run line, but I wish I was getting more of a plus price. So I'm gonna attack Kodai Senga walks or K prop. Senga has 3 or more walks in every start. Usually, like I said, walks are around 1.5. Hopefully, it's not too juice, but I also like his K prop if it's around 5.5. He's gone over that number in every start, besides the last one against the Giants, where he had 3 in the first inning, and then he just went kind of cold. But Nationals don't really strike out a lot, but they haven't seen the ghost fork yet. So once they see that, they won't know what to do with it. I think this is a good spot for Senga and the Mets. Coming back home after that long trip the Mets had, I think Senga and the Mets will take care of the Nationals. Gore is another guy. He walks a lot of batters, so maybe look towards his walk prop, but that's kind of how I play this game.
Well, I'm going wild here. I'm going to take Washington at plus 180. Yep. I think Senga he started really well, and he's due a wobbly one. But starting pitching's been a minefield this year. There's barely anyone who's strung together 2 or 3 good starts. So I think it's about time Senga got turned over. And I like Mackenzie Gore. So yeah, I'm going to give Washington one here. So plus 180. For the Nationals, please, Noah.
I would go with the under here. I think both offenses, the Mets, their league average against left-handed pitching. Gore is one of the few starters that the Nationals have that I feel comfortable either backing or taking an under. The Nationals offense is second to last against right-handed pitching in OPS with a 605. And when I saw Kodai Senga early on in the season, the strikeout props were the move, but I think the ship has somewhat sailed. Last game against the Giants, he faced so the Giants were the number 1 team in strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. Right now, they're currently 3rd with a 26.2. The line was set at 7.5. He only had 4. Like Dylan mentioned, he struck out 3 in the first inning. Now he's facing the Washington Nationals team that is the 5th best in strikeout rate, only striking out 19.7% of the time against right-handed pitching. The ghost fork is nasty, but I don't think the line's going to be set at 5.5. Last time it was set at 7.5. I think this one starts at 6.5 or 7, and I just think that's too high for me to get down on.
I should say also it's going to be a really rainy day, so I do like the under. I set mine at 8.2. It's going to be windy and rainy here in the Northeast.
Love that.
Yeah, keep it nice and tight. That's better for my.
It's like Newcastle weather around here.
It's been sunny today, remarkably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. The sun has had his hat on today, very rare. 7:20.
The sun.
7:20. Yeah, have you not heard that song? The sun has got his hat on.
That's a Newcastle song.
The sun has got his hat on. Google it. It's a classic. 7:20 Eastern versus pitch the Miami Marlins at the Atlanta Braves. Sandy Alcantara for Miami and Bryce Elder goes for Atlanta. Plus 130 on the Fish, minus 150 on the Braves. Total is set at 8. Sandy Alcantara, 1-2 record, 5.47 ERA. He's still not great. Arizona last time was again below average. In his 4 starts so far, Miami have scored 7 runs in those 4 games. So it's always going to be tricky for Alcantara to pick up a win at all, or Miami for that matter, unless you're putting up a few more runs. Bryce Elder has a 2-0 record with a 1.14 ERA. He's pitched 23 2/3, has only given up 3 earned runs in that time. You have to trust it. His walks and strikeouts are consistent. As Noah would say, if you look beneath the hood, there's nothing to alarm you in there. This is your classic unit and a half play. Atlanta on the money line at -150. Noah, please.
I actually am going to go with Miami here, just taking a shot with them. Atlanta, so far this year, they've been pretty average against right-handed pitching, only a 737 OPS, 100 WRC plus. So that's literally the definition of league average. I think that Sandy Alcantara has favorable numbers against the Braves in the NL East, and I'm going to go with the Marlins here, just taking a shot with them.
Okay, D-Rock.
Yeah, I grabbed the Braves a little earlier in the day, -125. I made them a -150. I see -140s, -142s out there. So money's definitely come in on the Braves, and I think for good reason. Like you mentioned, Mal, Sandy Alcantara has not looked like himself this season. 3 really bad starts, I think, especially the one on the road against the Braves. I think this is another bad spot for him. Braves killed the fish in their first game. I think we see a similar type game. Another unit and a half play here for the Braves.
For what it's worth, this is a pretty good matchup for some hitter props. We have a lot of PVB against Alcantara. Acuna is hitting 280 against Sandy. He's got a home run against him as well. And then Ozzie Albies hitting 250 if he's in the starting lineup. And Marcell Ozuna, he's been cold, so you can expect some plus money props. He's hitting 438 on Sandy. That's actually quite good. And Bryce Elder has given up a 314 batting average to this current Miami Marlins roster. John Birdie has the best batting average against him with a 286. So just something to keep in mind on those guys. Maybe a steal prop on Birdie if he's able to get on base and then advance, because anytime he's on, he's going to be running. Elder, not really a guy that I like to target, but Elder, actually, there must have been another bag stolen on him in the last game. Runners are 8 for 9 stealing against him, so that's good for 89%. Birdie steal might not be a bad idea.
7:40 Eastern first pitch. The San Diego Padres at the Chicago Cubs. Michael Wacha for the Padres and Drew Smyly, lefty, coming off that unfortunate botched perfect game attempt on his last start. The Padres are -115. The Cubs are -105. We have no total as per usual at the Cubs. Dylan, Padres at the Cubs.
Yeah, DK, you could get a 9.5, and I took that under. I made my total 7.5, so very big difference here. Gonna trust my numbers. I've loved what I've seen from Drew Smyly this season. Besides his first start against the Reds, he's been fantastic, going deep into games, very few runs, not a lot of walks, and on the other side, I'm just expecting a bounce back spot for Michael Wacha. He's shown us that he can pitch well on the road against the Braves. They won that matchup 4-1. It went under the total. Cubs struggling a little with the bats here. Got winds blowing in at Wrigley as well. So I just think the total's a little too high here. I'm expecting a bounce back spot here from Wacha. I love what I've seen from Drew Smyly. I'm going to go under 9.5.
I've written down the exact opposite here about Michael Wacha, Dylan. Thought this was a really hard place to bounce back. He's had 2 shockers on the road, and going into Wrigley Field just isn't an easy. It's one of the more unusual environments to try and put it together. The Cubs have the 4th best starting pitching ERA in the majors at the moment, which is a surprising number. You wouldn't have expected that from this lineup. And a large part of that was Smiley's excellent outing last time out. I'm going to say them again. I've been out on them, and I need to start showing a little bit of faith in the Cubs. -105. P-Wiz has been going, but really pleased to see Cody Bellinger getting back amongst the runs and looking like the player he was a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I think the Cubs are a great price here, -105. Noah.
Yeah, good news, Malcolm. I can see +100 right now at DraftKings. So
nice.
You can get that as a small dog And then Eric Hosmer, he's hitting 273 off of Michael Wacha with a home run. So you're gonna get some good juice on that one. He has not had the greatest start of the year. And Ian Happ, 3 bombs, hitting 364 off of Michael Wacha. I'm all over the Cubs. I like them on the money line here, and I would favor the under too, like Dylan said. So
9:38 Eastern is the penultimate game of the slate here. It's the Oakland Athletics and the LA Angels. Luis Medina, a name we are not hugely familiar with, will go for Oakland, and left-handed pitcher Patrick Sandoval draws the start for the LA Angels. No lines on this. Luis Medina was a very recent addition to this pitching. I'm going to use the word docket because Moonaf used it twice yesterday. So I'm going to crack on with the docket chat. So Noah, tell us about, if you can, Luis Medina.
Last week, Oakland called up Mason Miller, and it was pretty exciting. This time, they're calling up Luis Medina, who was acquired from the Yankees in the Frankie Montas trade, but Medina has just been sputtering in the minors. He has a career ERA of 4.83 in 7 years down there, and he has a 10.8 K per 9, so that's pretty positive for his career in the minors. But the issue is his control. He's having trouble limiting his walks. In 9 starts against Oakland last year, Patrick Sandoval had an ERA of, or 9 starts against Oakland in the past 3 years. Patrick Sandoval has an ERA of 1.84. I think we have to take Oakland's team total under, either in the full game or the first 5.
Okie dokie. Dylan, did you have much on this one?
I just can't believe the Angels weren't able to cover the run line last night. But let's try. Let's try.
It was nuts.
Oh my God, that game was nuts. No, I went to sleep and they were down all those runs. Ward hit the home run and I went to sleep, and then I wake up and it was like they took the lead and then they lost it again. It was just madness, like Malcolm would say. But let's try it again. Angels run line. Patrick Sandoval, I think he's much better than the guy who went yesterday, Suarez, who, you know, I think he should have been dominant against it. If you're not dominant against the A's, just give up, I feel like. And look at Patrick Sandoval in his first start against the A's. He cooked them, to be honest. He had a little hiccup on the road against the Yankees, but, you know, I just think this is a good start for him to get back in rhythm, get back in the win column. There's no reason the Angels should be even playing a close game with the A's when they have the 2 best players in the world. It's very frustrating for me. So Angels run line one more time.
It is frustrating. I'm beginning to get annoyed with the Angels, and I'm a very placid man, but they're getting on my tit end at the moment.
Seduced.
Like seduced by Angels. Yeah, that's me and Moonaf's album out in the shops. Power ballads. No, you're not having that.
I said, ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll bring it out for Valentine's Day next year. With a little bit of sword vitality strapped to the back for everyone. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I've got nothing except to pick the LA Angels on the run line here, but there's just there's no other way you can dress this game up, really.
You're not going to win any prizes with that one.
Not going to win any prizes for originality, Dylan, at all. I'm going to win loads of prizes for this next one, though. 9:45 Eastern first pitch. The St. Louis Cardinals, the San Francisco Giants. Steven Matz, left-handed pitcher for the Cards. And Tony Disco will go for the San Francisco Giants. Stephen, we got odds as well. Minus 120 on the Cards, plus 100, a little home puppy. The Giants. That card, why is Steven Matz minus 120 to beat anybody? Is that accurate? That's nuts.
Are you reading my notes? Because that's literally what I wrote down.
Oh, really?
How is he favored against anybody? Even the Athletics?
Yeah. I had this written down, and I kind of the gravity of the situation has just dawned on me. That Steven Matz with his 6.55 ERA and his 0-3 record, the books are wanting you to take minus 120 about him. He won't be around much longer if he keeps pitching like this either. 4 losses for the Cards. He's walking far too many batters, and to use Noah's analogy from earlier on, it's batting practice. Anthony DeSclafani gave up 4 earned against the Mets last time, but that was his first 2 walks of the season and a homer cost him. I think he was a little bit unlucky. The Giants, they shut out the Mets last night, I believe. I think the Giants are very, very live here in this situation. I like Desclafani, regardless of the opposition. And when the opposition is Steven Matz, I'll take the Giants here at plus 100, Noah.
You guys know I'm going here. So this is definitely the Courtney Love game of the slate. The Giants have the second worst OPS against left-handed pitching, a 597. And Steven Matz is not good, but this Cardinals lineup is much better at the plate than the Giants. They are 11th in the MLB with a 739 OPS against right-handed pitching. For me, it comes down to Desclafani. When you look under the hood, he's not limiting hard contact this year. Average exit velocity 90 miles an hour. That's 27th in the MLB, 27th percentile, 10th percentile in hard hit percentage against him. Expected batting average is way higher than what it has been so far this year. He has an expected ERA of 4.12. It doesn't look good. And then when you're going up against the Cardinals, which is going to be the best lineup he's faced so far this year, he's faced the Tigers, the Royals, the White Sox, and the Mets. The Mets, he did go 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, but that was his last start, and it was the best offense he had faced up till then. I think the Cardinals are slightly better than the Mets lineup-wise. I think I have to go with the Cardinals. I don't know why they're minus 120, like you guys mentioned, but I think that's the play.
Okay. So it's the Cardinals for Noah. Dylan, what are you telling us?
Jesus. In what world are the bookmakers making Steven Matz a favorite?
It's Courtney Love. She is in the building. She's at Oracle Park. Wind's blowing out 10 miles an hour. There's going to be some hard hit balls.
Yeah, I'll happily take the home puppy in this one. The Cardinals have lost every start this guy's made. He's awful. He's getting rocked by everyone. Send him back to fucking Stony Brook, Long Island. This kid is atrocious. Giants are actually playing decent ball right now, and the Cardinals aren't. Yeah, they might be hitting, but they're not translating to wins right now. I think the Giants are on a little bit of a run. They're home. Anthony Desclafani is much better than Steven Matz. He's just a complete auto fade right now. So as long as they keep trying him out there, I will continue to fade the Cardinals.
TVJ knows it. He's from the college experience group. He knows this kind of stink.
He's leaning into the stink with Noah. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 15 games handicapped, locks and dogs to come. Now, obviously, last night was bordered on a fiasco. So, is this fact that you're forcing me into making my picks first now?
Yep, you have to.
Moonoff's rule.
Moonoff's rule. This is, honestly, the sooner SGPN get a human resources department, the better, because I've got a list of complaints as long as my arm about you people. Okay, well, I've never been as confident as I am right now, so listen to this. My lock is the Atlanta Braves on the money line, minus 150. Perfectly reasonable, like Bryce Elder. Don't mind Alcantara, but he has been vulnerable. And if Atlanta score 3 runs, they'll win this game. They might win it if they score 2. So, yeah, Atlanta are a great price at minus 150. And for my dog, I'm going to take Washington to turn over the Mets and Senga. Big fan of McKenzie. Go, he can get it done. Kodai Senga is due a wobble, and it comes tomorrow night. So give me the Nationals at plus 180. Dylan, what was that noise for?
Oh my God. No, carry on. I'm just disgusted.
I've finished now.
It's disgusting.
That's nothing else to add.
I'm going to double. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
It is your turn, yeah.
I'll double lock it. I'll take the Braves as well. That is my lock.
Oh, hang on. Whoa. Hold the phone. Isn't this what happened last night?
It wasn't
not
a lock, though.
It wasn't. It's not a triple. No one's not going to do it.
That's one rule for one, isn't it?
Come on. I'm going to take the Braves. Everything that Malcolm said, he made great points, Elder. I'm going to fade Sandy Alcantara. I think the Braves are just a much better team and had a couple dogs. I was going to take the Mariners. Could even get the Giants at plus money. But since you disrespected my Mets, I'll take the Mets on the run line, -1.5. I think they kill the Nationals, and I hope so because I can't wait to rub it in your face. So give me the Mets on the run line as my dog.
Okay. Noah?
Hey, Courtney Love games are 1-0 when I've locked them up. They scored, I forget which team it was, but whoever it was, they scored 7 runs in the first 2 innings, and it was over. So we're going back to it. It's the Cardinals money line, -120, because it's disgusting. I think a lot of the public's going to be on the Giants in that game. And then for my dog, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Pirates +120 money line. You can find that on FanDuel currently. Roansy Contreras at home. The Pirates swept the Dodgers last year at home. Dodgers bullpen has not been good. 25th ERA in the MLB with a 5.06. I like the Pittsburgh Pirates mojo right now. I'm going to keep riding them.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I like that, Noah. So yeah, that's it then. Well done, everyone. I am heading to London tomorrow. I've got work. London town, London calling. Heading down from tomorrow until
time?
Sorry?
London punt time?
No, don't be ridiculous. London is on the River Thames, Dylan. It's Newcastle.
I actually took a cruise on the, what do you call it? Thames,
Times,
same shit.
You people are honestly just a cultural wasteland, isn't it, where you lot live? Absolutely.
I saw Sherlock Holmes' little house right on the water.
That's just New York, New Jersey area. The rest of the USA is all right, I promise.
You claiming more culture, Noah?
No.
I
can't.
Well, I've got a big casino on Thursday night anyway, so I won't be here.
Money. Good luck.
Tomorrow and Thursday, but Moonaf and Noah and Dylan will be. So, anything happening, Noah?
So college baseball show is going to be out a little bit earlier this week because we're dodging a lot of the NFL draft listening that we have going throughout the week. Wednesday night is the NFL mock draft for SGPN. So I'll be making the pick for the Lions, which is 18th overall. And many other SGPN contributors are going to be joining in on that call to deliver a pick. It'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, check it out if you guys are free. I think it starts around 8:30 Eastern. So it's going to be fun.
Dylan, you need to update me on the ice hockey because we talked about it the other night.
Yes,
and
screw Moonoff, screw everyone in SGPN that talked about the Devils. I don't hear a word now. Everyone's all quiet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone told me the Devils are frauds. They're too young, this, that, and the third. What now?
I honestly didn't watch game 3 or game 4 because game 1 and 2 weren't even that interesting.
Yeah,
we
put our rookie goalie in. He shut everyone out. All the Ranger fans who paid $1,000 to go see them lose, go cry.
So it's that 2-2 now.
That series has been super, I guess, weird, and it's just NHL playoffs written all over it. The Rangers went to New Jersey and won both games, and then New Jersey returned the favor, went to New York and won both games. So it's 2-2. Every road team has won every game.
It's funny, Mal. My dad, I'm superstitious. So he goes, "You trying to go to the game 5?" I go, "No." I went and we lost. I went to my friend's house and watched both games and we won. So I come home last night. We're all talking. We're chatting in the living room, and he goes, "You trying to get season tickets next year?" And I go, "Hey, I'm down. If you're willing to drop the bread on it, I'm down." So season tickets might be on the room.
A superstition on Sunday morning, getting ready to go out for the Spurs match. Our last home match, we'd beaten Manchester United at home. So I was shouting to the IT department. I was like, "Can you remember what pants I had on for the Tottenham game? For the Man United game?" And she couldn't remember what pants I'd worn. So then I was in the WhatsApp group with all the lads. We all go out to the pub together. It's like, "Can anyone remember what pants I was wearing?" And I just wasn't prepared to get dressed and leave the house until I had the correct pants on. Got the correct pants on, and we won 6-1. So you got to stick with this shit, Dylan.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
None of this happens by accident. So thanks everyone who joined us in the chat. We've had loads of people join in the last 30 seconds. People do like the last 30 seconds of this show. Probably the best 30 seconds. So yeah, I'm away for a couple of days, but the boys are back.
You
What?
buried the biggest news for Dylan's sports teams. I forgot about this one too. The Aaron Rodgers trade. He went to his Jets.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, right. I'm going to just throw this out there. Is he? Yeah, I was going to use the word shite. Is he not finished?
Yeah, I think he is. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. We swept him last year. We picked him off 4 times in his final game as a Packer.
Dylan, that's not going to end well.
Hey, the Jets are a much better team than the Packers.
They are. So. They're much better with Rodgers than without, too.
We're Super Bowl contenders. End of the story. So,
I like the green hats. I'll give you that, Dylan.
Nice. It's not a hat; it's a helmet.
Big shiny hats. I like the big shiny hats. Lovely and green. Right, yeah, I'm going to bed, man. I've got time to talk rubbish with you all then. Joey D, I'm pleased you enjoyed that last 30 seconds. We've dragged it out for another 30 just for you. Good luck with all your bets, everybody. We appreciate you joining us. That was lots of fun. As always, I'll be back later in the week. The boys will be back tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you down the road. Cheers.